Welcome everyone to the 13th of November technical discussions call. We have 3 demos so far for the lineup today. The first one we have will be presented by Mustafa and Zach. Are you all here?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you guys want to take it away and introduce the project proposal you all have?
No, of course. So hi everyone. Today we want to present a dApp this dApp allows organization to manage bounties with internal or external contributor. At first, Gno can use the platform to manage bounty, and after we will expand it to other organization in the future. So Manfred suggests to me to just to make a markdown for this dApp, because I discussed with him about dApp, and can I share my screen?
Yes, definitely.
Okay. Just a minute. Okay. I have just a little visual to. It's okay. You can see the.
Yes, we can see.
Okay. So it's like a dWork application, but in Markdown. So in the homepage we have all of task with the name of organization, and you can filter for your skills or your how you can participate in the task. You have personal profile of dev with personal information and the score and information on your skills and the GitHub account. And on organization, we have a little visual with a reputation of the organization, a task board for the task to do with the user, and the task in progress, on review, and the organization can assign a reviewer on the specific task. After, excuse me. And in the task, we have some description and some information of bounties, and when you are interested by the task, you can submit. Organization can specify what the skills need for the task. Just a minute. Dev have also a task board personal for dev. So this is just a little little vision of our project. Thank you.
Thank you, Mustafa. Moving on, we have a demo from the Varmeta team, the Gno Wallet on Telegram. Do you guys want to give it an introduction and demo it?
Yeah. Hello, everyone. I will share my screen.
Not on my side.
Not yet. Is it sharing right now?
Yes.
Yeah, and our idea is creating a mini app on Telegram that acts like an Adena Wallet. You can think about the wallet on Telegram like an wallet of Gno, and you can click on this to try it right now, or I will try it. For now, this wallet has a basic feature like send and deposit Gno, and you can also import the wallet by private key or mnemonic. I will demo here. I will change to account 2 and take the private key. And import it here. You can choose private key or mnemonic to import your own account. As you see, you have two accounts here, and you can set one as active, and you can send the money. Yes. Okay, you receive the note here. And for now, our application is attached to Portaloop. And if you want to try, you can connect your account to Portaloop, proceed some and try it. As the initial place, if you don't have any wallet here, any account here, we will automatically create for you an wallet. And in the next step of this project, we will make it to support another mini app to code to it to make a transaction state changing transaction efficient or send Gnos through this mini app. Like you have a game here and you send Gnos through this mini app. And yeah, it is our current project, and hope to see the feedback and review about this application. That is for me. Thank you. And
Hey, some questions about this. What is the, how does the wallet work? Where is the private key being stored?
for now, we store the private key on Telegram cloud storage. Each Telegram user have their own storage on cloud of Telegram. We are currently finding the way to store the private key on the local device, but in the first phase, we store it. We save the private key on the cloud storage.
Is it using Adena in the backend?
No, we are not using Adena in the backend.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's a whole
You can.
wallet that's created. It's in.
So each Telegram meetup will have its own cloud storage for each user. So it will distinct from user when they use the app. And they said that it is security, but we might have a next step to encode it with a password. So this is our plan to say.
Sorry, I didn't catch that.
Do Manfred have some question?
It's not a question.
I mean, yeah. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, basically, the question is, are you aware of the account session upcoming feature?
We want to have a feature that we can call the transaction from the other mini app to our app, so that, for example, you can have another mini app on the Telegram and you want to call some transaction.
Just technically, we can discuss about what will be the concession, but just in terms of feature, in terms of user experience, a concession's main goal is to allow and something we consider unsafe or less safe to interact with the Gno chain. What it means that what we do consider safe are audited wallets. Adena will be audited and will be considered safe. Gno.key is another example. Probably we'll have a Gno.key mobile, and maybe we'll have some other wallets we consider safe. But if you want to use, for instance, an IDE with a feature to publish your packages, so basically an IDE that will require a private key, we don't expect to audit VS Code completely. We don't expect to audit all the apps that we interact with Gno. So our goal is to provide a mechanism for clients we consider less safe or that won't require a full audit. Basically, we will just expect the clients to implement another API, which is not a way to store private key and sign transactions using the main private key, but a way to create a volatile session, which in practice will be a private key. And this is more appropriate to create accounts on Telegram or whatever. Right now, if you don't want to, right now, if you want to use something before a concession is available for everyone, the goal is to use an existing API. So instead of storing the private key and making your application something we need to audit to consider to be safe, you should try to use the Adena API. So Adena is the wallet, Adena stores the private key, and Adena requests the user to confirm all the transactions. In the future, you can expect the Telegram bot or other apps to use their concession and to have your own flow to confirm everything. But right now, it's basically unsafe to create a client with a private key storage.
I mean, I think at this point, the Telegram app is like essentially a centralized wallet, right? Like you just have the keys on the server. Is that correct?
Yes. For now, we store the private key on the cloud storage because we are finding the way how to store it on local device in a secure way. But we just want to develop the feature first and improve the security later. And yeah, we for sure will pay time. We will spend our efforts on the security that be audited or in a safe way, like Adena.
All right. Can we have Telegram use the Gno.key mobile app instead for signing? I think what we want for mobile devices in general is to have a single application that manages the private key so that no Telegram app needs to know the private key. if the Telegram app were to hold a private key, it should not be for the master key. It should be only for session keys. But even the process of creating a session key should first open up the Gno Key app, Gno Key mobile app. Right. So
Yeah.
That's my first question, which is, can we have an interaction between Telegram and the application that you're creating in Telegram to open the Gno Key app, or a third-party app, and then request it to sign something, and then go back to the application, right? So that's the first question, and I hope the answer is yes, because if not, things get a little more complicated. Another point is we should not store any private keys on Telegram servers, even if they are encrypted, because that creates quite a bit of risk. Okay, so here are the things that could go wrong. If the user has to provide a password to encrypt, right, then the user is generally going to make a bad password. It's not going to be strong encryption, even with bcrypt, say. And whoever has all of those encrypted password files, if it gets leaked, or any Telegram employee really, or any government like France, can request all of those files and start doing a rainbow attack. And even if the keys were to be encrypted in a secure way, right? So like it's encrypted using a key that's generated on the mobile device. Well, that could be better, but it complicates the UI, because now your account is tied to your phone, and you could do something more complicated to be able to export that key to other devices and so on. But it is complicated, so might as well use Gno Key. But also, there's no guarantee that encryption will be correct. Maybe the Telegram app will get hacked, or maybe the I don't know how the app itself is loaded on Telegram, but who knows what they're going to do. Basically, we should treat Telegram as a hostile application. Right? So the only thing that would be reasonable to do in terms of Telegram storing private keys would be like a session account with limited ability to spend. So that's another one, but I think the more important one is getting a demo or a proof of concept of the Telegram app opening Gno Key, and then Gno Key signing something, going back to the app. If we can do that, then great. There's room here. If not, we should have a follow-up conversation or try to figure out next steps, but it doesn't look too good. And then the other thing, the last thing is the name. It should not be called Gnoland Wallet. Right? Should have a separate name that's distinct.
All right. For the first question, to clarify how Telegram mini app and what it is, Telegram mini app is considered like a web view application, and I'm not sure a web view application can communicate with a mobile application. So that we think we are finding a way to store the private key at local device. But in the case, in the case it is not it is impossible. So
What is impossible? It's impossible to open the Gno key.
impossible to bring the information from Gno key to Telegram mini app. Like you can communicate between Gno key mobile to Telegram, but not Telegram mini app, because
I mean, what if you copy pasted something? You could have a window that opens up a transactions JSON and a button that says copy transaction, and then says open the Gno key app, install the Gno key app, go there, and then follow the instructions.
Yeah, I think it is possible to do that, but I don't have that much information about Gno key mobile. But if Gno key mobile can create, let's say, can create a session, like session token or session account, so I think Telegram media can communicate with Gno key mobile, and we can achieve the goal that the mini app can be a wallet with private key either safe on Gno key mobile.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that. Can you repeat that again? The first part?
Yeah, I mean, my answer is Telegram mini app can communicate with Gno key mobile.
Oh, it is possible. It's not impossible. It is possible.
Yeah, through deep link on iOS device.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. I thought you said it was impossible, but if it is possible, that's great. Let's do that. Then this seems like an interesting approach to Telegram integration. But yeah, let's absolutely make sure that that we use Gno key mobile instead of you know, and
Yeah, I get it. And,
and then there's still, you know, we should still take care to make sure that even the session account stuff, you know, if we need to store it in Telegram servers, anything that is stored in Telegram servers, say, you know, that we audit the security of the encryption well. So, you know, that's something we can help with too. Yeah, let's start with that, please. Thank you so much. Manfred?
Yeah, as soon as you integrate with Gno key mobile, basically you have two options. One is to request signatures by switching to the app each time you want to sign a transaction. And the other one will be to request an account session from Gno key mobile that you can store. Usually the account session makes a lot of sense when you want to make several micro transactions. For instance, if you want to use a social app and you want to upvote posts, it just makes sense to have an account session because you don't want to sign every upvote. If you want to only send tokens, I think actually you should use Gno key mobile interrupt communication to request the signatures for each transaction. You could use an account session, but maybe it's just safer to say as soon as the only usage you have in mind for Telegram is to transfer funds, maybe you just don't need any account session. In terms of UX, I mean, I prefer switching to my app, seeing the upcoming transactions to be sent, reviewing with my eyes, and then confirming.
okay.
So at the end, the answer is to integrate with Gno key mobile using deep links. But just so you know, the Gno key mobile will offer the two options. One is to sign every transaction you want to sign. The other one will be to create an account session. But my personal case is I won't create an account session on Telegram if my only goal is to transfer money. But I will use Gno key mobile in-app switch so I can transfer token by verifying before sending.
Okay, I think I get the idea and the opinion, and I think I need to take a look deeper on Gno key mobile.
Yeah, the Bertie
projects
team just
and
proposed
application.
if you want to work with them, if you want to work with them, Liberty team proposed to work with you on this so they can show you. But just to come back on this, basically the Gno mobile integration is what we prefer in any cases, but the subtle notion of not creating an account session will make basically the Telegram integration to not have to store any private key. It's an option to never store any private key, basically. You make the integration, switch to the app, you transfer the tokens, and in practice, you don't need to store anything. Maybe you store the public key or the account name for a UI reason, but yeah, by just integrating this or maybe Adena or whatever, you don't need to store any private keys.
Yeah, for sure. We, I think we will not save the private key on Telegram or somewhere not safe anymore. And I think if we can work with Gno Mobile, we can make the wallet or at least make a way that a Telegram mini app like games or payment mini apps to pay, to send, to transfer money, to pay for the action and to making transaction through Gno Mobile. We will find out the way how to do it. And I think maybe in the few next week we can release another demo station. Yeah. Yes, on. And if you have any feedback or any comment, feel free to DM me or Signal. Thank you.
Thank you. The last demo we have is with the OnBlock team, and then we'll move on to the discussion section.
Okay. Hi everyone. Let me share my screen. Do you guys see my screen?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm gonna show you a short demo of the NFT feature for Adena. So we recently added the support of GRC721, and as you can see here, these are NFTs. And you can send and receive a GRC721 NFTs, and it supports the metadata. So let's try to deploy GRC20 realm, and we can see how it goes. So in this package, it's test package, and we have these attributes and this name description. Yeah, as you can see here, it deployed successfully. And if we go to now, let's mint GRC20 GRC721 token. Let's package path is here.
Hey, Dongo, I'm just curious if you have tried to call it with connect. Is it, I mean, unless it doesn't require complex types, connect should be able to do it.
Okay. Do you mean here?
Yeah, basically, yeah, this. You can click the function you want to call. Which one you want to call it?
Let's actually
because sometimes not all the functions are visible if they, have complex arguments and.
Yeah, it doesn't have the function that I want to call. Yeah, I want to call this. Let's try again. Sorry about that. I'm not sure why it's failing. Before this call, I tested these 3 NFTs, and it got successfully deployed. Anyways, yeah, this is the NFT feature, and you can use your NFTs to transfer to others, and you can use this mini feature to pin your NFTs. And yeah, while we are working on this feature, we found this what could potentially be an error in Gno VM. This is basically when we are using the GRC721 package, and we call this, and we get this access error here, that we couldn't get access to the GRC721 package from our realm. So Gino, our team member, is working on a fix on this. He tested it with this change, and it's working, but he wants to make sure that he's adding all the test cases. So he's gonna open up a PR very soon. Thank you.
Thank you, Dongwon. Okay, now we're hitting the discussions. It looks like we have about 6 of them, but I think, Morgan, you're leading the charge with the standard libraries discussion.
Yep. Did you want to say something related to this? What the bug that was being shown?
Me?
I think, okay, no, I thought you said something, but maybe, never mind then. Okay. I'll get going. Let me share my screen. Okay, so there's we spend a bunch of time on the demos. So because there's also a bunch of discussions that we want to go through, I'll try to be efficient and not go through the this proposal quickly and try to keep it within 10 minutes so that hopefully we can have some time to deal with these. So the way I propose we go through this is that I'll be going through each of these proposals, and we kind of want to just let you folks be aware of what we're thinking of doing, and where we're currently at. And if you have some questions that you'd like to point out about, or some objections that you'd like to point out about what you're doing, please do raise them. I'll give around 10 seconds after I go through each proposal, so you can raise your hand or start talking. So the first proposal that we're doing to reorganize the STD package is going to be about splitting it into different packages. Here is a rough proposed division of the packages and the types. So we're probably going to have a chain package containing like address and address list, chain runtime package containing functions like current realm, perv realm, assert origin call, and chain banker containing banker and coin types, and chain params containing the current set param, bool, set param string, and so on. This is just to make sure that we have packages that are associated with a well-defined scope, and instead of just throwing everything into STD. Yeah, this is pretty much the proposal. If anyone has any discussion, any points to raise, 10 seconds. The next one we'll be working through is this removing get prefixes from the functions. So we'll be call.rat or orig send will be the new names of the relative functions which currently have the get prefix. This is just to bring it in line with what happens within Go, where getters don't really need to have the get prefix. And so this makes it consistent with most Go code bases. Next up will be expanding abbreviations and using consistent naming. So these are a rough idea of the most common abbreviations that are in STD right now, which currently exist. So instead of having perv realm, we'll be switching that to previous realm. Instead of having ADDR adder, we'll start using address. Or we'll start using, instead of origin. So all the functions where these abbreviations are used will be consistently moved to using the full name. The one exception that we'll keep is PKG for package path. Also because this is something that is brought over, it's both relevant to the GNOVM code base, is also a term that is used within Go. But yeah, the idea of this proposal is to get everything consistent, at the very least consistent, and if we do use abbreviations, consistently use the abbreviations as well. Next up will be These are the discussions that we currently have the time and the team to go through and kind of agree on. And as you can see, I wrote status consensus on I think all of these before. We still have a discussion pending in these ones, so not all of these are changes that are incoming, and these are also ones where we'd like to hear your objections, if any. So this is a proposal to remove std get average caller and std is origin call. Why get average caller and is origin call, aside from the consistency problem we talked above, are functions that should likely not be used and available for end users, both because to determine if the function is being called by an end user, what generally happens there is that you want to then panic if that happens, and a sort origin call already provides is already a function that can do that without providing just opening up as a feature for other use cases. Most use cases of get average caller should actually use std per realm.address. And this is previous realm.address, I guess, at this point. And this is just so that if the caller is actually another realm, there is no way that a realm can, let's say, impersonate a user and access a user's funds. This is one point of contention where Jay says that for this very reason, that get origin caller actually gets the origin and the caller at the origin. It can be used to do these patterns of impersonating and having a realm that kind of builds on top of something else and constructs on top of that. Similarly, is origin call should likely be replaced by std per realmless user, because this makes it possible to both use it in frames within the current realm, and just makes it consistent on the per realm function. Yeah, giving 10 seconds as usual. The next proposal that is being done is that of adding crypto back32, and this is also to replace the current native function, which is derive package address. We can have back32 in native code, and this will also enable to do more encodings. There is an example of a back32 address being a derived package address being used improperly, quote unquote, within GRC20 currently. So this will make it possible to actually encode back32 addresses, which are not necessarily GNO addresses. Consequently, use that in place of the native function to generate addresses for package paths. Please.
Hi there. Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Currently in the TM2 Go code, standard address is a byte array. And in the Gno code, standard address is a back32 string. Are you going to keep that? Because it tripped up me, and it tripped up Yuri, and it tripped up a bunch of us.
I think we're going to keep that, just keeping it as an address. Yeah, just because it makes it usable directly by using maketx call, where you can just pass a clear address into it instead of passing a bunch of bytes, which would be hardly readable. And so I think it's still desirable to have an SD address as the type most used, which is just directly the string representation.
Okay.
The next proposal is about being able to manipulate entire context instead of having test statics functions. So currently you have functions like test set realm, or test set orange send, or test set height, or skip heights, whatever it's called. The proposal here is to kind of replace all of these with just being able to manipulate the context that the function is being executed in, well, like by just being able to put, like say, testing set context with the context struct, and this just sets the whole context to whatever you desire. Multiple reasons for this. One of them is to not have to create, a new function for every single one of these, to be able to work on entire context programmatically. And it's also to be able to have to work better with things like a current realm, and thus being able to manipulate, the way another realm is called, and consequently have used prev realm, things like that. This will be something where we'll have to figure out more details, but so for now, like, consider the idea rather than the implementation details. Go through another couple, maybe. Realm scope deposits instead of ridge send. This is also something which is largely pending discussion, but the idea here is to have a mechanism where a realm can send a deposit to another one. So in a similar way, where we switch from using get origin caller to using prev realm to determine who the user is. Also have a mechanism where you can sort of see what the prev realm sent to you as a deposit, rather than just considering what the original user sent as a deposit. There's still some things to consider here about how exactly this API would work. But yeah, the idea is just to kind of allow realms to send deposits to other ones, while still, of course, granting the ability to determine if the deposit was sent by the original the caller user or another realm. This is likely not happening, but it's here for historical reasons. So read it if you're interested, but I'm not of this opinion anymore, and it's kind of pending discussion still. The next one is about some banker changes, and these would essentially change the banker interface. Yeah, this is and also change the constructors. So instead of having a banker type, we have specific types of constructors, possibly with parameters like the allowance banker, that do each thing, that act as separate bankers, kind of in a similar way as the GRC20 refactor. Yeah, there's another couple down here about removing caller out to get ridge package address and raw address, and this one where if you have ideas here on what other terms we could use, you're welcome to edit, because we're still considering what to do here. But in the interest of time, I'm closing up this one, and let's move on to the next ones. I just wanted to go through these and just share them with everyone. We're still, as I said, very much we're very much deciding what to do on each one of these. So feedback is welcome, especially if you think that we're doing changes where you have useful use cases. So yeah, do take another look if you're interested in that, and do comment. I think this one was added theoretically by Nemanja on a discussion question for Jeff, Adi, and Bertie. What are some of the problems you guys have been seeing when using QUIC for peering?
I think we already had some discussion on that. Remy and Antoine jumped in. Forget whether it was Signal or Slack. I don't think we had much more to add to that. Is Antoine here? Does he remember that happened?
Yeah, I'm here.
Where was this the discussion we had on how easy it is to use QUIC?
Oh, you mean QUIC on Gno directly, or
Yeah.
Easy to use QUIC? QUIC, honestly, I'm not sure. I don't work with QUIC since Bertie. Back when we used it in Bertie, it was something still not experimental, but yeah, I think a part of the protocol were not clearly defined. Yeah, go on, Guillaume.
I'm not sure about like QUIC will be more efficient for peering. Honestly, QUIC is really useful for like unstable connection or anything like that, but I don't think it will solve anything about peering. But I mean, from my experience in Bertie also.
Yeah, from what we saw, QUIC is actually consume more CPU. The main advantage is it can handle instability, because it's not like if your connection break, let's say you switch from a Wi-Fi connection to a cellular connection, since it's session oriented, it will be able to make the switch. So it's particularly relevant when you do something using mobile or this kind of application. Yeah, I don't know exactly in which context we can use it in Gno, but yeah, I think it's like less mature than TCP or other more standard way. You consume more CPU, and if it's not relevant to use it, yeah. Maybe we shouldn't, I think, or just try as an experiment.
If we're having LP2P at some point, it could be interesting because LP2P can switch and we can even test it. But for now, I don't think it's relevant to use QUIC.
That's what I remember was the conclusion of that other thread was we should wait till we try libp2p, which has QUIC inside it.
Yeah, and also we can switch among like multiple protocol. It's designed like you don't have any one protocol, so you can maybe like fall back on TCP if QUIC having some problem. Also, QUIC can be blocked in some QUIC, not UDP protocol can be easily QUIC in some situation. Yeah, to me, QUIC is still like really relevant on browser and mobile. Like everything that can have like generally unstable connection because you are on the move, or like Antoine say, you're switching from Wi-Fi to cellular connection. QUIC is really performant with that because it's UDP, it's packet oriented at the base, so it's able like to keep the connection stable even if you switch. Like I remember like Manfred like playing with Mosh, and like it's not QUIC, but it's similar protocol with SSH over UDP, and using his playing with SSH on the subway with his iPad, and it's working really well. Having like connection drop and everything. But yeah, for us, maybe I'm wrong. I need to go back to see the protocol in more detail, but I don't think there is any advantage with it. At least for us.
Okay. There's an issue brought up by Ghost from Territory about should we forbid realm to store the references to objects owned by other realms.
Hello. Yes, it is more about the share my screen.
Sure.
It is more about this issue. We say do not allow to store references to object. I don't know why we went to not allow and this use case, or we can have some use case. We went this case. I don't know why.
I think it should still be that in terms of GNOT that are actually being used, isn't it still like one fixed one GNOT payment for the gas fees? I don't think we merged any PRs which are related to this still. I know Ray has on this issue. It's something that Ray has been working on, and he's been working on to making like the gas actually paid by the users. But Ray isn't here as far as I can see. But yeah, it's in the works on our team anyway.
Okay. Hey, so it's maybe this isn't so much about gas, is it? There's just a fundamental question of how the Gno VM or Gnoland should work. Or is it specifically about gas?
Sorry, I apologize. I think I was looking at the issue afterwards rather than the one being shown. Apologies.
Yeah. All right, so looking at this, can we scroll up, please, to the example? Yeah. It says the following test should not pass because BBB is trying to save a reference to an object owned by AAA. But the inter-realm spec that we are working toward does allow this, right? So I'm not sure why this is an issue.
Yes, it is my concern. I don't know why this is an issue, because when we try to save an object that's owned by another README, we have a panic, and
Yeah.
we can also do a get, and it is not an issue to do a get in the inter-README.
Yeah, but there is a fundamental question of whether or not we want to allow this. There are two possible approaches. One is to not allow references to objects owned by other realms. In that case, the only way that realms can communicate with each other and interact with each other is by calling maybe like, exposed functions of the realm. That's a simple way to create interaction, and it's certainly possible. But it does make things a lot simpler. Like this would be disallowed, and many other things would be disallowed. The other way is to allow realms to store references to other realm objects. But and that's currently the plan is to allow this. But it does create potentially huge headaches. It's a very complicated problem, because now we're going to have, well, I mean, like anytime you have a realm that has a reference that can be referenced by another realm, you're going to have issues with garbage collection, right? That's one. So your realm will not be able to garbage collect an object unless no other realm has references to it. If they do, then you can't even garbage collect it, and that's just going to be storage that the realm pays for, which is fine because the way that storage is handled, it's by locking up GNOT, so there's nothing else you need to do. It's just those GNOT will be locked up forever for storage on your realm. So it's not like there's an ongoing cost to things, but it does create a storage headache. It creates a garbage collection headache because not only do you have to handle like persistent garbage collection in your realm, now we also have to consider garbage collection across the whole Gnoland realm space, across all of them. So that will introduce a huge amount of headache, to be honest, in the future. Because there can be cyclic references persisted across realms, and the only way to really clean those up would be to, either require the user to just figure it out and destroy cycles. But in a lot of cases where there are inter-realm references, people probably won't program things to do that. So really there needs to be a mark and sweep kind of persistent garbage collector. But that's a huge headache that we're not ready to tackle, right? Someone raised their hand. Mark?
Yes. Just to bounce on your one of your first sentence, maybe the best way to limit the possibility of realm interaction and keeping secure and have the possibility to exchange between realms is to simply export functions. So a realm can export functions where, in fact, the data needs to be modified, will be modified inside this function, and this should be, to me, the only possible way to interact with another realm by the way of exporting functions. And this is, I think it would really simplify our lives, and so that would mean that everything modified in the global realm memory would be inside the realm itself through its own exported function. So,
yeah. So okay. So like if you so that's the first model where so if you try to store reference to an object that is owned by another realm, then it would fail, right? Like panic during runtime or something. And the only way that you should interact would be to call an exported function, such as an exported function of the realm. But it also gets complicated because there are different kinds of functions too. There are functions on objects like methods, and there are also closures. Like it does get tricky to figure everything out, but it is overall simpler for sure. This was what I thought we would originally do, and then we kind of veered toward the allow references model. I do think it's a difficult choice to make either way. Anything you want to do, surely you can create an exported realm function that allows more or less the functionality you want.
Exactly.
Arguably,
Yes, exactly. It's I think it should be we should limit the ability to export variables, and I think this is typically natural when we are within a realm. We should only allow to export functions to be used by other realms and never allow other realms to access directly the methods, and then directly the variables and the objects. And then, yes, that will not eliminate all the source of of problems, but that will considerably simplify the scope of problems. Yes.
yeah. Although maybe we would have to revisit some of the work that Manfred had done regarding like registration of modules or registration of realms. Maybe, right? Manfred, I don't know if you're here, but.
Are you speaking about the GRC20 registry, for instance?
Yeah. So it might be worth trying to figure out how to make that work in a restricted realm model where inter-realm references are not allowed, but still making it work, right? If we can make it work.
Yeah, maybe a compromise is to only allow locally known interfaces. So only be able to store a pointer to an interface that is known from a p/ or something like this.
I don't think that would help because the interfaces are like duck typing, so it doesn't really do much.
It would allow to actually switch from either we have the pointer or the pointer is nil in case of GC.
I don't follow, but
basically the only thing you can store from another realm is a pointer, and in case of GC of the other realm, we just set the local pointer to nil, and then it's up to contract storing pointers to external interfaces to verify if the pointer is nil or not.
Yeah, I don't follow. Sorry. I don't see how interfaces help, but what we can do, I think, is have a completely different inter-realm model than the Google Doc we have, and to allow maybe the storage of objects that are defined in external realms, but that are not referenced otherwise from that realm, so that another realm can own an object defined in another realm. Maybe like that, then we can register something and it's not inter-realm references, and we can still have a register function. But either way, I think it's kind of beyond the scope of this call, and it should start from considering the inter-realm spec document.
Okay.
But
if we can only store an external object that was created by your local realm, we need to figure out a way to share the balance between several pointers to the same GRC20 token. Even if, for instance, you store the same GRC20 token implementation in 20 different locations, they can have basically a local pointer to a local created object, but they should share some fields, such as the balances. In the case of the registry, for instance, we cannot just expect to register new tokens. We should also be able to register existing tokens.
I think we need to switch. So I would wrap up the conversation here. Maybe leave some more discussions about inter-realm stuff for next time.
Sounds good.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for coming, and we'll see you all next time. And on Signal.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.